it's I can hear very little, but it's very delayed. It's like almost a whole minute delay. Coming through the camera.
Can you hear us through this camera?
Very little, but I hear myself louder over here talking. Alyssa said make sure the camera sound's muted.
Did you hit?
Are you still hearing it?
Oh, hold on, let me go back to it.
Could you hear me and Darren through your phone?
A little bit. It was like far off, but I'm gonna pull it back up.
And now can you hear us? All right. Can you hear us while we're talking on the live stream?
Has she got you got it on YouTube? Can you hear us any better?
30-second delay, maybe.
Can you hear us now?
It's just very delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good. Let's get after it.
Well, I think we're on.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Swamp in Malden High School, where tonight the Charleston Blue Jays come over to take on our 0-2 Malden Greenway. I'm Tommy Jacobs along with
Darren Todd.
Darren. Glad to have you here, buddy.
It's always good to be here, Tommy. You know, it's an exciting time to be in Malden, home opener here in the swamp, right out beside the Mike Bullock press box. That was aptly named for a gentleman that gave years and years of service to the Malden football program, and we're very excited to be here tonight. I know there's been a couple tough games start out for our Malden Greenway, but I'm excited. You know, as we were talking off the air earlier, who would have ever thought that whenever we're talking about Charleston and Malden in a football game, a Class 1A District 1 battle?
Yeah, I would have never thought that. Years ago, back in the day, we would have never thought that.
No, sir.
And it's going to be a nice night here in Malden. That sun goes down. We're sitting outside in the bleachers, welcoming all our fans to stop in and say hello and give a shout out to somebody. Just talk to Darren or Terry McVeigh will be along a little bit. And we'll be glad to have you. And we want to tell everyone we certainly appreciate these sponsors we have in the Malden area. You know, most of our sponsors are mom and pop stores, things like that. But, you know, we do have a couple banks, and Darren will go over all those with you before long. And we want to thank everyone, and we want everybody to remember Terry McVeigh. He is going through some kind of rough times. He lost his mother a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, we lost a good fan because she was tuned in to every broadcast we ever did.
Absolutely. You know, Terry's mother was living in the Little Rock area. She passed away. It's always a difficult time, you know, whenever you lose a loved one, and I know that it's good for him to get back into a kind of a routine, and we're excited to have him back in the booth because it's always a good time. Anytime we can call some high school sporting events, I think it's a lot of fun, and it's something we enjoy doing. You know, we don't have a big, huge budget. We don't spend tons of money on our equipment, but I promise you, if you want to be entertained, listen to Boot Hill Broadcasting because we will definitely entertain you.
Because we want everybody to know this. Darren, myself, or Terry take no money. We do pay our help of these fine young ladies that help us. Alicia's on vacation. I cannot believe she went to the beach to miss a football game.
I can't believe it. You know, don't ask me where I'm going to be next week, Tommy, by the way.
But it's not going to be here in Malden?
It'll probably be at the beach. But don't tell anybody.
No, I won't say it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I won't talk bad about you.
I appreciate it.
But one thing Terry, Darren, and I take away from this, we have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And, you know, Tommy, and talking about that, we couldn't do it without our great sponsors. You know, Dunklin County Transit, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, and Brothers Lawn Service, Servants Contracting, and the First State Community Bank. If it wasn't for these sponsors, we wouldn't be able to put this on for you. And, again, we're not professionals. We don't claim to be professionals. But what we are, we love to broadcast. You know, there's never been a microphone that you and I don't like to talk to.
Well, that's kind of like they used to say about old Malden alumni named Ray Pugh. Back in the day, they would always say, Ray never saw a camera or a microphone he didn't like.
And there was, you know, Ray was one of the best, if not best, basketball players and athletes to ever come out of Malden.
That's right.
One of the greatest teams you've ever witnessed. I believe it's the 1985 Class 3 state champion.
Yeah.
And I believe they played Charleston in the finals of that district that year, and that was a battle royale.
And I'm going to tell you what, whoever would have won that game would have done the same thing Malden done.
Absolutely.
They would have went on through, and you know Robert Eisen, every once in a while, he'll talk to you about that. You don't even have to ask him. He'll tell you about it. You know?
Well, and you know our good friend Donnie Jenkins. If you can get Donnie Jenkins, once you get Donnie Jenkins wound up, he's just chatter all the time. You know how Donnie – and Donnie, we're talking about Donnie Jenkins. Last year was his last year refereeing basketball. He did it for years and years. An outstanding high school official. Lucky to have him. Knew the game very well. We're really going to miss him come basketball season because I'm assuming, depending how – this is kind of my audition and how I'm doing, I might get to do some basketball games for you guys.
Well, let me think. Yeah. Because Terry and I have talked about this. We just consider you part of the program.
Well, I appreciate
the
that.
crew, and we appreciate you for donating your time and all, and you do a fantastic job. And you know, as bad as I do and things that I say, I need 2 lawyers around.
That's exactly right. You can never have too many lawyers when you're with Tommy Jacobs.
That's true.
That's exactly right.
And that's why somebody said, "You going to call a game tonight?" And I said, "No, I'm going to turn it over to the law dogs."
Well, we try. And
Yeah,
it looks like Terry's pulling up. He's got his VIP spot out there by the tackling dummies. He should be up here any minute.
Would you want to be the one that walk out there and tell Terry you don't need to park there?
Nah,
I wouldn't think so.
I think I think Sheriff Darter,
Yeah.
who's probably here. I think Chief Mitchell's, who's probably here as
Yeah.
well. Be like, you know what? We're fine with that.
I think it would hurt a thing. But speaking of that, we want to send our condolences to the Hillfacker family.
Absolutely.
Passing of a longtime attorney from here in Malden, Max Hillfacker. Well, listen, we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to get out of here and probably go get us something to drink. And as soon as Terry makes his way up here, he and Darren will bring you this football game, and hopefully it will be a good one. We got 19 minutes for the start of this, Darren. And so we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
I saw Noah at the rodeo. Hey.
Okay. You're gonna make it difficult for anybody who comes up.
I have a question. Do you cut music for Beta?
Do I do what?
Do you cut music for Beta?
Miss Crystal and I do, usually.
I'm working with Annalie for the the solos Beta, and I
Okay.
can't get her music cut the way I want to. Like, I just don't
What are
have
you
the-
using? Audacity? We use Audacity with FFmpeg, which is all free, okay? I'll help you, okay? Just let me know. Ian Castro at maldenmoschools.org.
Gotcha.
Shoot me an email,
Gotcha.
okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening and welcome to the Malden Greenway Football Stadium for tonight's,
welcome to the Swamp here in Malden, Missouri.
where both teams getting ready for the kickoff to come in just a few minutes. The game between the Charleston Blue Jays and the Malden Green Wave.
At this time,
Malden comes in with a record of 0-2. Charleston is 1-1.
remove your hats. anthem you would like to say on behalf of our community.
Now listen to our national anthem.
We want to thank the American Legion for their generous donation of a new flagpole on the north end of the field. This project came into fruition with the help of Daniel Cooper and the Malden football boosters.
I don't know. Feels pretty good to me.
For the time, effort, and dedication you put in making this happen. Now, the national anthem.
Well, they need to put them in the refrigerator.
Mr. Olson.
All right, Darren, what are we looking forward to in this game?
Well, Terry, looks like we're looking for two teams, and we were talking about it earlier, and I never would have thought I'd have mentioned it when I became 52, but it's two Class 1 District 1 teams, the Charleston Blue Jays versus the Malden Green Wave. Of course, Malden is 0-2, had a couple tough losses to start the season, playing two very good football teams, the first being Dexter away, and then playing Crothersville last week. Malden is a second-year coach. He's really starting to rebuild the program. He's done a really good job, obviously. And then Charleston is also 1-1. I had an opportunity to speak with their coach, Trent Adams, earlier in the year. Coach Adams is very excited. He told me whenever he was talking to his staff what he would like them to do is he wanted them to come together and set the expectation for team direction from day one. The foundation of his program is mold young men into leaders by challenging them on and off the field. He's got a good group of kids. These leaders understand the expectation, have done a great job communicating that to the team and staying accountable to each. Also, he has an experienced individual helping him on defense. Lucas Rayfield is the defensive coordinator. So I think it's going to be a lot of it's going to be a very good football game. I think Charleston defeated Kelly 22-14 in the first week, and then they lost to Potosi, a Class 3 team, 39-8. And you know, with that quirky scheduling district seedings, you play higher level competition. Even if you lose, you get more points than if you play a school your size or just below it and get less points. So welcome to Misha.
Yeah, I was going to say that Misha found another way. They found many ways to do things. Found another.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for
Coming
your
out on
Varsity
Malden Greenway. Malden, looking at the roster, Malden has a lot of underclassmen.
And talking Tristan Pulley, who's taken over here for the Malden program, was at Saxton for a few years. He's done a good job in trying to build back the culture. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, Malden was a perennial powerhouse in football, battling. I can remember when individuals like they played John Burroughs when Ezekiel Elliott was on the John Burroughs program, when Lamar came to town, and you couldn't find a spot anywhere within a 2-mile radius to park a vehicle for that game.
I ended up standing on the track the whole game.
And Coach Pulley, is assisted by Brian Vent, Mike Perry, and Nick Neely. They've done a really good job of kind of firing them up, letting them know, they have a unique thing in which they do a signing. Whenever you become a freshman, you join the team, have a signing day to let them know that, hey, we're going to build here, and we're going to make something good again. And I'm very excited about the Malden Green Wave. I think, obviously anytime your program's down a little bit, you're bringing them back, you have to look at those upperclassmen, the 12th grade, 11th grade guys who are going to be like, you know what, we may not be playing for a lot of victories, but what we're playing is to build for the future. When we come back in 5 years and we're back battling for district titles and state championships, it'll be because of these guys.
Well, I got 9 or 12 freshmen on the roster, so they're going to be seeing a lot of playing time. They're going to be getting a lot of experience. I like that idea about having a signing ceremony when you come on the team. It makes puts some pride into the program, and it helps make coming out to play football a cool thing.
Absolutely. And, when I was talking to Coach Adams for the Charleston Blue Jays, he let me in on a little insight. They had a guy, Trenez Lane. He's a dynamic athlete that they're going to miss for a little while. He was hurt in the win over Kelly, and he's been out, and he's going to be out for a while. His number is 0. He wanted me to give a big shout out. Anytime you get hurt that first game, it always is difficult to bounce back, but hopefully he'll be back to help him during the stretch run. He also mentioned that C.J. Kimball is the stat leader for the offense. And if you look at C.J. Kimball, he's rushed for 44 carries for 248 yards, about 5.6 yards per carry with a touchdown. Also, their quarterback, Chasen Kirby, is 11th grader, is a 5'10", 190 pounds. He's completed 50% of his passes, throwing 22 completions and 44 attempts for 200 yards. They have C.J. Kimball, who has caught 6 passes for 65 yards, and then Caden Brandon, who's caught 6 passes for 44 yards. So I expect that Charleston will get the ball, try to spread it around, and hopefully Malden will have an answer. Malden has come out, as we indicated, 2 tough games, yet to put any points on the board, but I feel like tonight they're going to put it all together. In talking to the coaches earlier, they said they've had a good week of practice. They've really worked hard. The kids are still buying in. They're still in the mode of, hey, we're going to turn this thing around, and that's all you can ask. So I think it's going to be a very exciting game between Malden and Charleston.
And to the Malden fans, you want to come out and watch this team. Watch how much better they get during the season. There are said a dozen freshmen, about the same number of sophomores on the roster. This is one of those instances where you're going to, from the first game until the last game, you're going to see a tremendous improvement in the team. You're going to be able to watch young men get better. Absolutely,
and Terry, one of the things that I've always thought about sports when you're talking about it is not every team's a great team, but you can always be a great teammate. Yes. And a great teammate playing on a team that's having a tough time teaches you a lot about life. There's ups and downs. It's not always going to be a great day. Sometimes you have to learn to adjust and advance forward. And there'll be times when you're on the football field or the soccer field or the baseball field and you make an error or do something, you're in the exact right position. Sometimes things happen. You've got to carry on. It's just like life. And that's why you have to appreciate those kids who's out there tonight. So I'm excited to watch this game, and I'm very excited to see how the Malden Green will improve this year. Next week we'll be playing Donovan. It's my understanding that I think that's also a home game. It is at 7 o'clock, so you'll have another chance to come out next weekend and watch Malden play Donovan here at 7 o'clock. But right now, before that, I guess we've got this game on deck. Looks like number 54, Landon Depro, set for the kickoff.
Malden kicking off, going right to left. Fielded by Charleston. Sweeps right, and comes out to the 46-yard line.
Looks like Treshawn Shandon on the carry there for Charleston. Looks like a pretty good runner, Terry. A little pooch kick by the Green Wave to get us started here in the first quarter. And again, if you haven't had an opportunity, come on down to the Swamp. We'd love to have you on the radio, or on the broadcast. We're sitting out in the stands with the fans, so we're very excited about that. It's always good to be back here in Malden for football.
Come out here and come by and say hi to us. get you on the air.
And as we kind of expected, Terry, looks like Charleston's going to have to start with 3 out far here. Quarterback in the shotgun.
Gets back to Kimball. Kimball picks up ran a long way, picked up about 4 yards.
And then talking to Coach Adams, he indicated that C.J. Kimball, as he calls him, Cameron Kimball, will be the go-to guy. He'll get a lot of the passes, a lot of the runs. A lot of their passes will be more of a quick out or something of that nature, so it's almost like the extended run game in the passing game.
Yeah, Kimball comes in with 6 receptions for 61 yards. Reverse. Gives it up to Branham. He gets close to first down. 3rd and 1.
And Coach Charleston, he also indicated that his offensive line has really been outstanding. They've been doing a good job of opening holes, protecting their quarterback, allowing him to have time to do some passing. So he's very excited about the young guys up front. He indicated they're very young in the front 5 or 6, and he's very excited about the future in regard to the offensive line of the Charleston Blue Jays.
I don't know many coaches who don't want to build a team. They want to build it, starting with the offensive line.
Look like a quarterback keeper.
Number 3, Jason Kirby on the carry, brought down by number 5, number 55, Michael Berry.
They haven't changed the down marker. They haven't.
Looks like they moved it. Looks like they're getting a first down.
Yep. First and 10 from the 42. Now getting the lights turned on in the swamp. Green pass. Nice play. Nice defensive play to Malden.
Jalen Whitney with the catch brought down by number 5, Jemias Benford.
That was a good group of tackle there by the Malden Green Wave. Malden in their home greens here tonight has really done a pretty good job so far trying to contain the Charleston Blue Jays. Charleston wants to set it out wide and try to spread the field, and obviously Malden has to have good ability to keep it inside the hash marks, because you don't want to let those guys run loose on the outside.
2nd and 11. Hand off up the middle. And Malden again wraps it up.
21,
Kimball again, C.J. Kimball.
The Green Wave defense.
Ball, he picked up 2. That's the 3rd and 9.
This is a nice play by number 6, D.D. Reed, the sophomore free safety, came up and really stuffed the run with the assistance of some of those big linemen. It's always good when your sophomore DBs can come up and help with that run contain, because, at some point when they're just getting pounded on and pounded on and pounded on, it's tough for those big guys. You have to have those other guys come in and fill the holes and bring out some tackling and to assist your
Kimball,
your
linebackers.
linebackers.
He's going to break to the outside and gets down to the 22-yard line, I believe. Good move.
Kimball's a very tough runner.
Number 21, Cameron Kimball with the carry, brought down by.
Good move. Went up the middle, saw a little space to the left, cut out to the left, and got good yardage.
First and 10 from the Malden 22.
One runner in the backfield. Pitch out to Wells. And he picked up a couple, maybe one.
Number 4, Oscar Ray Wells, brought down by the Green Wave defensive backs.
Terry, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors for allowing Boot Hill Broadcasting for bringing this to you here via the internet. Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping. Give them a call for all your tree service and landscaping needs. 573-217-5743.
2nd 9. Malden lines up. Rigney in the backfield with Kirby. There goes Rigney, and he's going to score. He does. The right side of the offensive line just kind of caved in Malden's defense on that, and Rigney just took it, cut out to the outside, and went to the pylons.
And you know, Coach Adams for the Charleston, when I was speaking earlier in the week, he could not contain himself in talking about how good his offensive line had been playing, and that was an evidence there.
Yeah. It's like lining up for the kick for the extra point. Oh. Hooked it a little bit.
Well, you know, special teams is always something that in the first couple of weeks you're always kind of working, trying to figure out who exactly you want to put back there. So it's much like the guy at the Kansas-Mizzou game.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have a chance for a couple $100,000. Was it $35,000? I'm just going to kick it at the Kansas bench.
Yeah.
Which I respect that.
Yeah.
So.
And he was dressed appropriately.
Absolutely. And again, you know, one of our other sponsors is allowing us to broadcast. That's Brothers Lawn Service, insured, operated by Ernest Fobbs. Give Ernest a call, 573-344-7202 or 573-281-9985 for all your lawn service needs.
Charleston will be kicking off. Again, Charleston is in white, trimmed in blue. They're going left to right on your skis. And Malden is in their Malden green wave, gold, trimmed in gold, and they're going right to left. Kickoff's short, picked up. Good defensive play by
Ian Dobbins on the short return for the Green Wave.
Frazier. Familiar name.
Timothy Frazier, the second on the stop for the Charleston high school football team. Well, Terry, it's 6:23 left here in the first quarter, 6-0 Charleston. If you're Malden, would you try to do some kind of ball control, perhaps try to focus on maybe establishing the running game? I know it's their first possession.
That's usually what you want to do is be able to establish the run so you can run, so you can feed off of that. Like a fumble, but looked like the ground caused it. It did.
Ball is down.
Ball is down.
Malden's second down.
It's beginning to be a good crowd here at the Swamp, home opener for the Malden Green Wave.
Ray Wells is the quarterback for Malden. They've had some injury issues already. Good run up the middle. Offensive line, and he's still going. He got a first down.
Nice job by the Green Wave offensive line, punching a hole. The running back just refused to go down. Way to move the sticks.
Nice run, nice blocking. That was Devin Lewis, I believe.
Great play by Malden Green Wave.
You know, talking about the uniforms, I'm extremely excited about those Malden Green Wave helmets. They got the Green Wave on the side, and then they have the numeral on the other. I really like those. Those are very nice.
I do too. I like those. The run up the middle, but there's Charleston plugging that hole.
Ian
Dobbins.
32, Jamarius Riggins.
Carrying the ball. Lost the yard, makes second and 11.
Jamarius Riggins on the stop for the Charleston Blue Jays.
4:31 left in the first quarter. Charleston's up 6-0. Quarterback back in the gun. Another good run up the middle by Dobbins. Ian Dobbins.
2 yards.
Picks up 2 yards, makes it 3rd and 9.
You know, anytime you get behind the sticks there, it's always tough to get those yards back. And when you're only limited to 4 plays, especially when you're in 2nd and long, 2nd and 12, it's tough play calling when you're that deep in your territory.
Like I said, the quarterback for Malden wasn't the quarterback that started the season because he got hurt, which is tough when you got a freshman quarterback started the season for you, then he gets hurt. I don't know how serious the injury is, but it sets you back, especially when you're a building team. Fourth and 9. On the back punt formation. Uh-oh. That was a plan. That was a plan. That was a call play. Excellent job.
Absolutely beautiful punt fake call by the Malden Green Wave 21, Ian Dobbins. Let him almost set it up like a screen pass. Let him rush in, and then next thing you know, for the biggest gain of the evening for the Malden Green Wave, who are now on the Charleston side of the field.
Yeah, so about 39-yard line, first and 10. It's a good play. He went through the motions of making the punt, but let him get on top of him, and then he went past him. Nice play, good call. And you were saying something about maybe trying to open it up here early in the game. And that was one of those plays that can do that. Run to the right, but D.D. Reed, he loses one.
Ball carried by D.D. Reed.
Looks like Marcrillis Cantrell, a sophomore, is quarterbacking for the Green Wave. You know, you indicated you had a young quarterback quarterbacking, and he got hurt, and now we've got a sophomore back there. It's always difficult whenever you have injuries early in the season trying to figure out. We've had a summer of everybody's playing this position,
right.
And after the first game or second game, we're now replacing everybody, which means when your numbers are limited, you're moving 3 or 4 people instead of just 1 or 2.
Dobbins, nice little fake. Went up the middle. Went right. Went left. Made a good gain. About 5-yard gain.
And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, First State Community Bank, Sandra Salisbury, the president, Malden, Portersville, Haytown, Kennett. For all your banking needs, give her a call, 573-276-4584, 1214 North Douglas here in Malden, Missouri. Again, First State Community Bank.
Okay, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Number 5 comes wide side to the left.
He may be doing post. Timeout. Getting close to the clock. Timeout. Malden. They're first.
Timeout. Green Wave.
That was a good timeout. They were getting ready to get a delay of game, which would set them back 5 yards to make picking up the first down much more difficult. You got some timeouts, but it's a good time to use one.
And you know, Terry, we were talking Charleston marching down the field fairly quickly there in the first quarter of their first possession. Malden did an excellent job with the fake punt. Did a good job of kind of switching the momentum from Charleston's side after they had made a stop. Now allowed Malden to move the ball down to the 30, 35 of Charleston. And they're really in a position now. If they could punch this in, hey, they're right in this game.
Right.
And will be a big, boost for the Green Wave. Again, they've had 2 tough games to start. Charleston's had a couple games. They had a tough one last week against Potosi. So I think it's a good game plan. I think Malden's got a real good process of what they're wanting to do. They're like, we know what we're good at. We're going to try to do that, and we're going to see if Charleston can stop us.
Right now, it's third and 6, at 35. They're in 4-down territory. There's Cantrell up the middle. He's getting close to the first down, probably about a yard shy.
Carlos Cantrell with the carry from Malden Green
2.
Wave.
And again, Terry, specialists in regard to place kicking, punting, that's something that we're still, trying to figure out where we're at. So I think you're hit the nail on the head. 4th down territory, I think they're going to go for it. They're keep the clock moving and try to get another first down here for the Green Wave.
Well, if you punt the ball, you don't have a kicker. You're just going to kick a field goal. If you punt the ball, you're not flipping that much territory. Dobbins up the middle. Looks like he got it.
And you got to admire Dobbins, Ian Dobbins, the junior. He runs hard. He does a good job taking the ball up the middle or on the outside. He does a real good job when he gets in, and the offensive line is doing a really good job of opening some holes for him when he goes up the middle. Nice first down for the Malden Green Wave. Got to be excited about that.
It's like 17 seconds and clock's running. That's about going to be the last play of the first quarter. Yeah, I like what Malden did too. They didn't try to get it. It was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. They didn't try to get it all in one play.
Anytime you're down there and you're third, like you say, you can run a couple of plays and get hopefully 3 or 4 yards each time and go from there. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for allowing us to bring this broadcast. Duncan County Transit. At Duncan County Transit, our goal is to provide safe, reliable, and accessible transportation options to meet the diverse needs of not only Duncan County, but our Southeast Missouri community. We're committed to ensuring that all residents, regardless of their circumstances, age, or income, have access to essential services, healthcare facilities, employment opportunities, and recreational activities, and more. Through our transport services, we aim to enhance mobility, promote well-being, and foster community connectivity.
Folks go out and support the sponsors. That's who brings this sporting event to you. If it weren't for them, you wouldn't be able to watch it and listen to it.
And again, we're here at the Swamp. Terry McVeigh and Darren Todd, very excited to be bringing you this game from Boot Hill Broadcasting. Just to the south side of the Mike Bullock press box. Beautiful night to be out here. If you're listening on the broadcast, come on by. Feel free to get on the air. We'll say hello. We love to talk to you. Boot Hill Broadcasting is all about being part of the community and making community events more enjoyable and more accessible to everyone in all of Southeast Missouri.
Cantrell picking his way up the middle. Picks up about 6 yards, 6 or 7 yards.
Terry, if you were the Charleston Blue Jays, would you be trying to bring a little bit more pressure on the sophomore quarterback, or do you think that well, you've answered my question, and I didn't even get the question out. I love that. We're in sync, and it's only the first game we've done all year. It's pressure is the name of the game. Pressure in any sport. Anytime you can pressure your opponent, it gets them out of rhythm. But Malden's done a good job of being in the shotgun, handing off to Dobbins or handing off to the quarterback on some sneaks and controlling the football. You've got to be happy if you're Coach Treston Pulley for the Malden Green Waves. Of course, his assistants, Brian Vent, Mike Perry, and Nick Neely, have done a good job of establishing the script or the play calls, and they've really done a good job of moving the football. And, Charleston's only had the ball once this entire game, and we're well into the second quarter, so you've got to be happy with the ball control of the Malden Green Wave.
3rd and 1. Again, we're in 4-down territory. There's Cantrell up the middle.
Number
I don't know if he made it or not. I think he did.
Another Greenway first down.
You know, Terry, what we need, much like the NFL, we need that where they come down and have the ball with the measurements and just do those electronic measurements. So instead of taking 2 minutes with a normal crew, it can take an hour and a half. So we can work on the computer technology.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched any of that in the preseason, but wow.
Yeah.
That was exhausting.
It was exhausting. Sometimes with AI and its effect on sports, it's exhausting. Nice run up the middle again. Malden with, heavy on sophomores and freshmen against Charleston, heavy on juniors and seniors, which of course more experience and more experience and more mature. But Malden is just not trying. They're not trying anything tricky. They're just going right at him.
And, Malden's doing a good job rotating that two backs with Devin Lewis and Ian Dobbins. And then also, of course, with Marcus Cantrell. There he goes.
Almost a touchdown down to the 1 yard line.
Great run of Malden Greenway.
Cantrell gets down to the 1. That was a good play. He's getting a lot of yards in the middle of the line. Really clever with his feet. First and goal from the 3. Make that from the 2. Make it. Dobbins trying to get.
Greenway stopped short by the Blue Jays.
Dobbins stopped just short of the goal line. He's going to make it about 2nd and 2.
Looks like
Water
though.
break.
Yep. And while we're doing that, Terry, I would be remiss if we didn't mention number 54, Landon Depro, a sophomore. 55, Michael Garrett, a sophomore. Alexander Burleson, a freshman. Caden Casing, a sophomore, and Leighton Tucker, a freshman, are the linemen for the Malden Greenway who's been opening these holes for the juniors. And again, I explained all sophomore and freshmen on the line for the Malden Greenway. I think that a few years ago, that's how Malden began their success. You have to be up front strong, and you have to have positive ability to really move that line one way or the other on both sides of the ball.
Well, we talked earlier in the broadcast that any coach goes to the team is going to start with the offensive line.
Emily Howe. Carson Cohen. Sarah Beth Neely. Kenzie Wynn. Kyla Wynn. Harper Murphy. Lily Salmons. Riley Joe Kirk. Kennedy Hensley. Kaylin Johnson. Gabby Kim.
You got Binford getting quarterback. The ball goes through his hands.
Shakara Brown.
He's trying to get away. He's not going to make it. Couldn't get around the corner.
Greenway run.
Looks like McCrellis Cantrell's on the sideline, a little gimpy. He was being checked on, but it looks like he's going back into the game.
Yep.
And they were introducing the cheerleaders. Obviously, Terry, anytime the cheerleaders introduce you, always have to give those young ladies a shout out. They do a great job of keeping the crowd fired up and doing a good job. Hopefully, maybe we'll be able to get the sponsor to give some information about them and get them on the air sometime.
Those are hard-working young women.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's going to be from the 9 yard line, 10, third down. Again, still I think still in 4-down territory. Cantrell over the middle. Is it intercepted? It was.
Cantrell was really hit hard by number 22 from Charleston, Jamarius Riggins. I didn't know if there might have been a flag on the play, but it does look like it was intercepted by the Charleston Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's really got to be a blow to Malden because they were doing a very good job of moving the ball down the field. They were pretty methodical is how they moved the ball down the field, which you like to see. Then they get down to the 1-yard line and end up turning it over. That's got to be deflating to that young Malden team.
And you know the one thing, this is only the second time that Charleston's possessed the ball on offense. So I mean they've done a good job of controlling the clock, which is exactly what they wanted to do.
6:59 left in the first half. Infraction.
Looks like an encroachment call against the Greenway.
Looks like the side judge is indicating that they either lined up offside or he might have jumped the snap just a little bit. But, you know, that's always a tough one.
Yeah.
We make it 1st and 5.
You're always on the cutting edge of between being too quick and too late when you're an offensive lineman, that's for sure. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Again, Servants Contracting. Give Servants Contracting a call, 573-281-6311 for all your contracting needs.
First down for Charleston. 1st and 10. About the 16-yard line. Run. Jumps outside, cuts back again, gets around the corner. Going to make it. All right, all the way down the 50-yard line. Excellent run by Kimball, C.J. Kimball.
Nice job by Jameis Benford in order to cut him off. You know, anytime you can have the angle, but he better be lucky he had the angle because it looked like he was going for the house.
Yeah, that looked like one of those you can get around the corner, you're going to be gone. Middle spin, another nice gain, 7 or 8 yards straight up the gut.
30 carries for the Blue Jays. Brought down by Greenway Peaches.
Jason Kirby, the quarterback, took that one.
You know, Terry, much like the Malden Greenway, we need to mention the offensive line for the Charleston Blue Jays. You know, Jalen Fennell is a sophomore. Jackson Hightower is a senior. Mortonion Hall is a senior. Braylon Stovall is a senior. And Trayshawn Johnson's a sophomore. They've done a good job of opening holes there for the running back, 21 Cameron C.J. Kimball, and also the quarterback. So it's been a situation in which both offensive lines have looked really good. And, you know, if I was Malden and it was 5:57 and left in the second quarter and I was only down 6-0 after a couple tough starts, I'd be pleased with that. I think there's some room for improvement, but I think that the Green Wave are really starting to turn some things around. I think they're having some buy-in. So I know if you're Coach Pulley, you've got to be excited about the opening night, good crowd, and how this team's performed.
Yeah, but I think it's very important here in the second quarter, 5:57 left in the first half. I think it's very important that Malden keep Charleston off the board.
Absolutely. I think, if you can go in 6-0 and maybe somehow scratch out a score and be 6-6 or 8-6, about 7-6, that'd be a positive side for the Malden Greenways.
Another first down.
And, talking about our sponsors, we would need to mention Rick's Hair World. That's where obviously I get all of my hair needs taken care of there at Rick's Hair World. So you need to stop in and see Rick here in Malden. Does a great job, has for years and years in the Malden area.
Cameron Kimball with the carry again.
C.J. Kimball carry up. Up the gut. Greenway player down. Kimball picked up about 6. It's going to be second and 4. Coming out to 10 to the player that's down. Can't see his number right now.
And while they're tending to the player on the field, looks like he might have a little bit of a lower leg injury that they're looking at. The coaches from Malden and Charleston are out there. We'd also like to thank our sponsor, FM Bank. FM Bank for all your banking needs. Locations in Malden, Kennett, Dexter, and numerous other locations all through southeast and northeast Arkansas. Southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas. Stop in for FM Bank for all your banking needs.
Yeah, Donald Trout, a freshman, and with this weather, and it is warm out here. This weather, it lends itself to leg cramps, which is one of the reasons they had the officials called for the water break. In the shotgun. Loses on the completion. Lost about 5 yards.
And Terry, doesn't appear that Charleston is in too big a hurry. They got 5 minutes left in the second quarter. They're more than content to control this ball, try to push across the score, go in hopefully 12-0. Depending on the 2-point conversion after watching some of the special teams, we'll see if it's
we'll see
how it could be 14-0. But again, if you're the Malden Greenways, you've got to be very excited about the defensive effort tonight. Done a good job with some extremely talented running backs.
Nice move from the quarterback. Get outside, get a first down.
Jason Kirby on the carry.
Jason Kirby.
Out of bounds for a
Got to the line, kicked out to the right, got around the end, and picked up the first down. So it makes it first and 10. Right at the 20-yard line. Back, touchdown.
Nice pass.
Yeah. Good pass, just speed route.
Great catch by Jalen Rigney for the Blue Jays.
Rigney, with a good route. It wasn't an intricate route, he just ran by it.
And that's one of those situations, Terry, where they had been pounding the ball, and they they do a play action pass and they go, to the house with the Jalen Rigney. He's a very good receiver. A nice pass by Kirby, the quarterback. Excuse me, it puts Charleston up 12-0.
It's Rigby's first touchdown reception of the year. The kick is good. No, it's no good. Hit the crossbar, bounced on the wrong side.
Now, 12 is Charleston.
12-0. 4:26 left in the first half. We're at the Swamp in Malden. And the Swamp is toasty tonight.
Well, it's Southeast Missouri. Just wait, it'll change any minute.
Yeah, we'd get 5 or 6, 7 games into the season, it might turn a little chilly.
Yep. And again, we'd like to thank Caden Siebert for stopping by to say hello to Boot Hill Broadcasting. Caden, excuse me, it was Kenan Siebert, wasn't it? Hey, Tommy, who stopped by? It wasn't Caden. Tommy, who stopped by? Kenan Siebert, his brother.
Yeah.
You know, Caden's on my mind. Obviously, Caden's been in a tough time. He had an accident on the river. Has been rehabbing that for several months. Of course, Caden's always in my mind and memory. Hoping he's the best. I think he's in Iowa right now doing some rehab. So I'd like to shout out to Caden Siebert. His brother came by. A very good basketball player for Campbell. So hopefully we'll be able to talk a lot about him this fall whenever we do some Campbell basketball games.
45-yard line, bringing up 1st and 10 for the Greenway.
Dushawn Butler stopped by. Just say hello. Anybody out there that wants to come by, talk to us? We're sitting out in the stands. Be like the time Harry Carey called the Cubs game from the stands.
Except for one thing we'll be missing, Terry.
Not going to wear a shirt.
Holy cow. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Herschel and Amy Hill for helping us broadcast this. We greatly appreciate Herschel and Amy Hill for being a sponsor for the Boot Hill Broadcasters. We're bringing you Malden Greenway football in the 2025 season.
With the ball running up the middle, and Charleston has that one clogged up.
Looks like Malden's got a new quarterback in, Tristan Moncrief, wearing number 2. Might have been just a little bit of a Mustang action, or maybe, nope, number 4. Starting quarterback Mercrillis Cantrell's on the sideline having his ankle checked out.
Yep. That's tough to play quarterback when they keep getting hurt.
I'd like to give a shout out to Donnie and Corey Carroll from Tuner Geeks. They stopped by to say hello. Also the owners of TG Express. And of course the former owners, Scott No and Jody No, also said hello, sitting in the extremely nice green seats to the left with full backs. So it's always good to see them at the football game. Scott was a long-time spotter press box guy with Mike Bullock, but he gave that up and is now just watching with everyone else here in the stands.
3rd and 12. This drive's not developing.
Looks like there's 3 minutes left in the second quarter. You know, Malden would really want to get a first down. They really don't want to give Charleston the ball back. I think if they gave the ball back, that would not be beneficial for the Green Wave, obviously. But, you know, I think this new quarterback who's come in, Tristan Moncrief, is going to do the best he can and try to march the team forward.
Dobbins up the middle, picks up about 4. Now he's on the ground, but he's up.
It's kind of a tough position right now. The ball's on the 34. It's 4th down. I think you've got to punt, don't you, Terry?
Yes. Yeah, when you're down that deep in your territory. And I think they're sure about who's going to be dropped back punt formation. Right now, looks like nobody. We're going for it. 2:14 left in the half. Timeout, Charleston.
Looks like Malden was trying to milk the play clock all the way down as low as they could go. Looked like there's 16 seconds left. Charleston decided they wanted to stop the clock from running, so that way they'd try to get the ball back with as much time as they could to move it. Probably would have called it a little bit earlier.
Probably going to see a bunt, but I'm not sure. Go with what your talent tells you can do.
And again, you know, if you're the Malden Greenway, if you're only down 12, I mean, this game is still within reach. Malden's moved the ball. They've done an excellent job with their line of scrimmage, or excuse me, with their young line. So, I mean, it's a situation in which, you know, you get a little bit of momentum. Looks like I think they are in punt formation.
Yeah, Dobbins just got back in the game, and he's back in punt formation. He looks like he's going to be the go-to guy for any situation like this.
We have had one fake here already. Could this be the second one of the night? Nice kick.
Lewis with the punt. Number 4.
Nice run. Good tackle.
Good coverage by the Greenways on a very good kick by Dobbins.
Yeah.
Switching the field, you got to really enjoy that.
Yeah, they flipped the field somewhat. Deborah Grant, Linda Dobbins. I remember Mother Cortez Dobbins. I remember him well. It's good. And we really appreciate. Not only appreciate you watching and listening, we appreciate your texts. We appreciate your messages. Long pass down the middle, and it's going to be no. Yeah.
Flag on play.
Didn't know what he was going to do. He threw down a marker, and then he threw down a flag.
I'm going to have to disagree with that one.
I am too.
The back judge is going to call some kind of pass interference, but I don't think that he touched the receiver. I think he kind of just pulled up, and he thought he touched him maybe.
I don't know. He didn't. It didn't look like he slowed the receiver down or changed his direction any at all. And the ball was behind. The ball was thrown behind the receiver.
And as we indicated, Terry, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, Servants Contracting, First State Community Bank, Sandra Salisbury President, Brothers Lawn Service, Ernest Fobbs, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, and Duncan County Transit for all making this broadcast possible here tonight.
It's the Greenway. Automatic first down for the Blue Jays.
First down for the Blue Jays on the pass interference call. Moves the ball up to about the 48. Malden's 48. First down. 1:50 left in the first half. Malden's Charleston starting to grind.
C.J. Kimball's a very good runner, very strong runner. You know, he's been the leading runner for them all year, and they really lean on him quite a bit.
Yeah, Malden's got to watch, make sure that they keep Charleston from scoring. One more time here in the first half. 1:17 left in the first half.
You know, C.J. Kimball's had 44 rushes on the year for 248 yards. The next closest was 6. So
long pass way out.
They look for C.J. Kimball to run the ball.
Intended receiver, Jairi Walls, incomplete pass. 3rd and 4 for the Blue Jays.
3rd and 4 from the 41. message from Steve Fowler, the new basketball coach at Malden. But the first down by Kirby, just running straight up the middle.
Kirby
Gets the first down yardage. Going to
First
be
down for the Blue Jays.
56 seconds left.
Stopped by number 21, Evan Lewis.
You know, this is kind of like the last drive. Charleston kind of lulls Malden to sleep a little bit, and next thing you know, they go for the big pass play.
Yeah.
So you've got to be aware of that if you're the DBs and the safeties for Malden. I think Coach Pulley's aware of that, and he's called a timeout to talk a little bit about it.
Blue Jays.
Nope, Charleston on the timeout. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they know they've got to get some yards relative quickly. But there is time on the clock. There is time on the clock if they can get a couple of chunks. They don't have to go for everything now. But if they can get a couple of chunks, you know, a couple of 10-yard chunks.
And again, we're excited to be here. The Swamp, Malden, Missouri, just the south of the Mike Bullock press box. Come on, swing by and send us a text or come by and say hello. Love to talk to you. Again, we're the Boot Hill Broadcasting, bringing you Malden football. We'll be back next week when Malden will be playing Donovan at 7 o'clock here at the Swamp for another exciting Malden Malden High School Greenway football game.
Yeah, now Donovan didn't play varsity football for a couple of years, but they are back to playing varsity football this year. The only game I know of is that Saxon Lutheran did beat them. Kirby's going right, and he throws it.
And, you know, Kirby was kind of retreating there. Nothing usually good happens when you're throwing from your back foot. Of course, when you're being chased and you're trying to make a play, the ball was just out of bounds. Good coverage downfield by the Green Wave.
And I like the one D-back from Malden came and put some pressure on Kirby. He was being chased by a couple of linemen. Then the D-back came up and put some more pressure on him and caused the errant throw. So it's 2nd and 10. 43 seconds left in the first half.
Got to be very aware of Riggins on the outside here for the Charleston Blue Jays. Or the run up the middle. What do I know, Terry?
There's Branham.
Number 5, Caden Branham carries for the Blue Jays.
Could pick up about 6 yards.
And you know, Terry, real quick, I'm going to throw a little shout out to myself. Anyone who's listening, have a little radio show. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590 that broadcasts Monday through Friday, 1 to 2-ish. Sometimes we're a little later than 1. Sometimes we're a little earlier than 1. I try to bring on some individuals in the area who just kind of talks a little bit about what's going on with Southeast Missouri and all of the region. So please listen to that. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590, 1 to 2 weekdays. We got a little update on the game.
Tommy, you got a score? Okay, 14-0. St. John leading Kent at 14-0 towards the end of the first half.
And again, it's 12-0 Charleston with 33 seconds left in the second quarter. Darren Todd with Terry McVeigh. Boot Hill Broadcasting bringing you Malden High School football action for the 2025 season. Very excited to be at the Swamp. Set up a little south of the Mike Bullock press box. Swing by, send us a text. We'd love to get you on the air.
Kirby's back deep in the pocket and misses the connection.
Incomplete pass for the Blue Jays.
It's going to be fourth and four.
And you know, I know that the clock was a issue, Terry, But Charleston was doing a good job marching the ball down the field on the ground, and suddenly they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. They've been trying to go for some long passes. You know, that in high school football, as I understand, the clock stops whenever the chains are moved. So
Yeah.
I think they would have had time. They still have 30 seconds. It's third down and now.
I think they had time for some more runs.
And, of course, that's why we call the games when we don't coach football.
That's right. Kirby back. He's being chased. And nice interception.
Interception by Malden Greenway.
That was a great job on the pressure by 20
Yeah.
Percy Kirkwood, a sophomore.
21.
And Devin Lewis with the interception. Great play.
Yeah, it was. That,
First and 10 for Malden Greenway. 24 seconds left in the first
And
half.
here we are, Terry, 12-0 Charleston, 24 seconds left in the second quarter. The Greenway with the ball, they're right back in it. If they can do something real quick in these 24 seconds, maybe get a score of some kind, or just control the ball and go into halftime
Right.
12-0. You've got to be pleased with the effort of the Malden Greenway in this home opener here against the Charleston Blue Jays.
well, that drive right there could be huge for Malden. They give up points on that drive. They're going into the halftime.
Is a collection of
18-19, that's
I think it's right. And, you know, not to cut you off, Terry, but the two biggest plays was the fake punt by Malden to control the ball the first and second quarter, and then that interception right there to stop another scoring opportunity by Charleston. You've got to be pleased. Usually special teams is something you're working on the first 2 weeks, trying to figure out where we're at. Malden's done a pretty good job of that in regards to the fake punt. And I think that, you know, their defense has kind of been a mentality of, hey, let's bend, don't break. I think it's being a Mizzou fan, I think we all knew their bend, don't break a lot. But, you know, keep them between the 20s, and then you get down to the 20s, then you got to really stiffen up.
But what impressed me about that last drive for Charleston is how the Malden defense stepped up, especially in rushing the passer and putting pressure on the passer. Just kneel in the backfield, going to run out the clock. And that's how this half is going to end. And Malden's got to feel pretty good about themselves. First time they had the ball, they marched it down to the 1 yard line before turnover. But now, so they've got something to build on then. And then the way they stopped Charleston on this last drive with some very good rushing the passer and throwing off the passer. I thought they did a very good job on that on their defense.
And, you know, you got to be pleased with the hard running of Ian Dobbins, as well as Percy Kirkwood, Devin Lewis. They also did a very good job of playing some defense out there and linebacker and so forth. You can't say enough about the starting offensive line for Malden. I mean, they've really opened up a lot of holes. Very young sophomores and freshmen. You've got to be excited about that. I mean, you know, the problem Malden's going to face, I think, is their starting quarterback. It looked like McCrillis Cantrell was going off the field being assisted, so, I mean, it was kind of tough. But I think, you know, all in all, Malden has to be pleased, 12-0, first home game. So,
Yeah, I think not giving up those 18, 19 points is, I think, something Malden can really build on going into second half. And Malden will get the ball to start the second half.
absolutely. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. I'll run through those one more time and make this broadcast possible. Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, 573-217-5743. Servants Contracting, 573-281-6311. First State Community Bank, Sandra Salisbury, here at 1214 North Douglas, Malden, Missouri. Go in for all of your banking needs. Brothers Lawn Service, insured, operated by Ernest Fobbs, 573-344-7202, 573-281-9985 for all your lawn care needs. And Dunklin County Transit, who's Dunklin County Transit. Our goal is to provide safe, reliable, and accessible transportation options to meet the diverse needs of not only Dunklin County but our southeast Missouri community. We are committed to ensuring that all residents, regardless of their circumstances, age, or income, have access to essential services, healthcare facilities, employment opportunities, and recreational activities, and more. Through our transport services, we aim to enhance mobility, promote well-being, and foster community connectivity. FM Bank, also a big sponsor for the Boot Hill broadcasting of the Malden Greenway football. Rick's Hair World and Herschel and Amy Hill. Again, they are the individuals who make these broadcasts possible. We'd like to thank them all for their sponsorship. And please, when you have an opportunity, utilize their services. Without them, we would not be able to put this on the air for you here at Boot Hill Broadcasting.
Now at halftime, it looks like we're going to have some Pee Wee football.
Man, it looks like there's about 17 minutes at halftime. Terry, you want to take about a 10-minute break and come back here in about 10 minutes or so?
Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half. After one half, it's Charleston 12, Malden nothing. But thank you for joining us on Boot Hill Broadcasting for Malden Greenway football.
All right, we're back at for the second half of this game between Charleston and Malden. Malden is trailing right now, 12-0, but they had some positive notes in the first half. Their first time with the ball, the possession of the ball, they drove it down very well. Good drive, got down the 1 yard line, then had a loss and interception. And Charleston got the ball. When they got the ball, the first time they got the ball, they drove all the way, and then one other drive ended up with a long pass for a touchdown. Charleston missed both extra points, and the score is now 12-0, but just some positives, I think, for Malden. In fact, Charleston only scored 12 points.
Absolutely, Terry. And, and talk a little bit about the Malden Green Wave. You've got to be excited about their offensive line. Landon Depro, a sophomore. Michael Garrett, a sophomore. Alexander Burleson, a freshman. Caden Casing, a sophomore. And Leighton Tucker, also a freshman. Then they've got a couple other guys out there that kind of goes in and out. And you have to be excited about the running backs. Devin Lewis and Ian Dobbins, I think they did an excellent job on the ground, both juniors. The one thing Malden has kind of had an issue, has kind of been bitten by, is injuries at the quarterback. McCrillis Cantrell started tonight. He's went out with a ankle injury. We don't know if he's coming back. So it's my understanding they're down to their third-string quarterback. And nothing against that individual. I'm sure he's an outstanding athlete, but he hasn't been taking reps all summer at the quarterback position. Probably didn't take any, if hardly any, this week. I mean, that's not what you plan on. Is you don't plan on injuries to your quarterback, and anytime you have an injury to your quarterback, it's always kind of tough to get back into the groove. And when you talk about Charleston, they have a very good front line as well. Their offensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage. Malden did an excellent job. They only really let Charleston have the ball about 3 or 4 times in the first half. Malden controlled the line. They controlled the ball. That fake punt was an outstanding call by Malden. It really turned the tide. It allowed them to continue to control the ball and move it down the field. And I think also that one big play, when fourth and I don't know what it was down here when Charleston had the ball towards the end of the first half, to keep it at 12-0. I mean, you've got to be very excited about all that. And another thing you have to be excited about Malden football is these Little League kids playing out here. I mean, this is some outstanding plays.
These guys are pretty
He's
good.
so fast, he ran out of his little sock hat that's on there. So, I mean, that's some big-time plays. And these kids are taking some good hits, and they're just bouncing back and going. I would be out for 2 weeks if I was taking some of these hits these kids are taking down there. But you've got to be. And the crowd's very appreciative. The Swamp's always been a great facility and a place to have football. And it's the first home game of the year for the Green Wave. They've had a couple of tough openers with Dexter and Crothersville. But they've really looked sharp. I mean, the one thing you can say if you're coach is, Coach Pulley, hey, we're getting better every year. We're still buying in. We're still believing. We're going to be a good team. We just have to keep pushing through. So you have to be very excited about that. I mean, the coaching staff with Coach Vint, Coach Perry, and Coach Neely, and, of course, the head coach, Treston Pulley, you can't fault the effort for the Malden Green Wave. So
Not at all.
I'm excited about the second half. And, I know we talk about this a lot, but, our sponsors, it couldn't be possible if we didn't have our sponsors. Duncan County Transit, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, and Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping.
And I saw one of the better supporters of Malden sports over the years, over many, many years. Saw Phil and Judah Sandy make an appearance here.
That is correct. Phil and Judy, obviously Phil is in the Hall of Fame. If Judy's not in the Hall of Fame, she should be. That'll be I'll nominate her. She is anybody can put up with Phil Sandy for that long. has got to have a special place. And I'm just kidding. I love Phil Sandy.
do
You
too.
know, he's a great man, and has been a real treat and real treasure for all of Missouri, especially Malden area. And I'm glad that Judy and Phil are out here tonight. And again, I want to mention Donnie Carroll and Corey Carroll from Tuner Geeks, and also TG Express, also Scott No and Jody No. Jody No's a longtime Beta Club sponsor here, also a secretary for years and years, did a great job. Scott, if you don't know Scott No, you've got to go to TG Express, buy a soda, get some free bubble gum, and he'll give you all the wisdom you've ever wanted to imagine sitting at there at the service station. It's this how good this gas station is. They still pump gas for you, Terry.
Oh,
They will actually pump
just
your.
heard about that.
Nope, they will actually pump your gas for you and clean your windshield. I'm not joking.
I haven't perfected that yet.
I'm going to have to get Scott No down here to testify that not only do they pump the gas, they also clean the windshield, and you can actually see out of it when you get done, unlike when I get done cleaning my
Yeah.
windshield. So
I just gave up.
well, you know, I thought that when you hit the windshield wiper juice, it was just supposed to, yeah. But it
That
hasn't.
is something automatic.
Coaching staff,
Absolutely.
Greenway, head coach Preston Pulley,
And again, you know, I'm going to take a moment to plug myself
Mike Perry,
as far as my show.
coaching for
I have a little show on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. I like to bring on some interesting guests to talk. It's KDX AM 1590, 1 to 2, Monday through Friday. Tune in. Also, if there's anybody that you think would be interesting that you'd like to put on the show, let me know. Text me, 573-344-8673. You know, I've had Greg Killebrew from the Positive Brotherhood has been on the show. I've had Sheriff Nick Darter from the Malden area. You know, Sheriff Darter's the new Duncan County Sheriff. I've had him on the show. Anyone that you would like to hear that you think has interesting insights for all of Southeast Missouri and the community, feel free to give me a text or a call, 573-344-8673, and I'll be happy to do that. The man to my right, Terry McVeigh, is going to be on my show. We're going to talk all things entertaining when he and I get together. I promise you, if you think we're great tonight, just wait till that show, Terry.
Wait till we loosen up.
That's right. We're not in mid-season form
No.
yet. This is our first game. We're going to get really, really, really crazy.
Malden's out on the field. They're going to be receiving the kickoff from Charleston.
You know, both teams were in the locker room at halftime for quite a while. I think both coaching staffs were working on some second half adjustments. You know, obviously Charleston has got to get back to, hey, let's run the football, run the football, and occasionally go with the long play. And Malden's trying to figure out, hey, who's our quarterback?
Yeah, who's the quarterback?
Who's our quarterback right now?
And who's going to get us past the goal line?
Absolutely.
'Cause they're still looking for the first points. They had the ball down the 1 yard line, ready to score. That's why it's 100 yards long, not 99.
Williams kicking for the Blue Jays.
Williams is going to be kicking off for the Blue Jays. Again, the Blue Jays are in white with blue helmets, blue pants.
And Devin Lewis back.
They're going right to left on your screen. Malden is in green uniforms trimmed in gold with white helmets. They'll be going left to right. Onside kick, and
I don't think it went the 10 yards, but I think
think it did.
somebody from Malden fell on it before then.
yeah.
Will be first and 10.
So Malden starts out with excellent field position, starting out on the 50-yard line or 49-yard line
Junior
of
kicker
Charleston.
covering the ball up for the Blue Jays.
Is that number 10, Dentez Dobbins in at quarterback?
I think it's going to be 5. Number 5,
Jemias Benford.
yeah. Yeah, he's got Dobbins in the backfield with him. Got a score, halftime score, Carruthersville and Duchesne. Carruthersville 40, Duchesne nothing. Kind of give us some perspective to the Malden game last week.
And you know, Carruthersville's played St. Pius, I say X, but I think it's St. Pius, whatever.
St. Pius 10. Or
Yeah, who's in this district. They beat them handily. You know, Carruthersville is a very, very, very good football team. Dexter's a very, very good football team. The
Yes,
first
they
two
are.
teams that Malden has played is probably going to win their district fairly handily. So, I mean, coming out in 12-0 here in the third quarter against Charleston. Again, you know, you start the season off with two very difficult opponents, and you can only do just improve. And that's exactly what Malden's doing as they continue to move the ball in the second half.
They rush up the middle by Denford, and he's very close to the first down. And
Very short for the Green Wave.
third and 1, probably less than 1.
Looks like Malden has.
Nope, they've already, okay, they're moving the chains. First down.
Looks like Malden.
First down.
Malden brings their quarterback over to get the play. It looks like they really wanted to stretch out the play clock. They're in no hurry, trying to move the ball here with 10:35 left in the third quarter.
Well, you got your third guy in playing quarterback. I know most of you don't remember Tom Maddie playing for the Baltimore Colts, but he was a running back that after Earl Morrow and Johnny Unitas got hurt, he had a wristband or armband with a lot of the plays drawn on him. He was a halfback playing quarterback. They got deep into the playoffs.
And again, Malden brings in the play from the half. I'll be worn out just going back and forth from the
Yeah,
coaches over
yeah.
to the huddle. But you know, we're used to the people holding up the cards with the ducks and all that stuff
Yeah.
on the sideline. I kind of like that you just run it over there and
Yeah.
say, hey, run number 47.
Yeah, let's. Quarterback draw and no place to go.
That time Charleston really
Bedford.
stuffed the run with packing the
Yeah.
boxes. And they kind of expected it. You know, you're down to your third string quarterback. You're not going to do a lot of passing, so therefore you just kind of have to run the plays as you have the script available to you based upon the players you have in the game.
Yeah. But it'd be hard for them to run any complex plays or trick plays. I mean, he hadn't had any reps. He's trying to run the team without having any reps in practice. Third down, about 13. Halftime scores. Cape Central 23. There's almost an interception.
Tristan Moncrief, the intended receiver.
Timothy Frazier, the second, broke up that pass. He had it measured.
He broke off that route. He knew where it was going, and he just kind of couldn't quite get the hands on it, but did a good job of breaking up the pass.
Yeah, he saw it coming.
And again, Terry, you know, Boot Hill Broadcasting excited to be here in the swamp with Malden High School football. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, Duncan County Transit, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, and Herschel and Amy Hill.
Denver rolls left and overthrew the receiver. Had him open for a bit.
Incomplete pass for the Malden Green Wave.
And I kind of understand what Malden's doing. You know, they've ran, and Charleston's kind of stacked it up. Now they're trying to let them know, hey, we'll pass occasionally, but what does that do? That stops the clock. something that Malden really doesn't want to do. They want the clock to be running. They want to be marching forward. But you kind of have to keep an equal balance, because if they know you're either an all-run team or all-pass team, it makes playing defense 100 times easier.
Well, the example of that would be that quarterback draw that Malden tried on with about third down, and there's no place to go. I mean, it was stuffed from the inception. Uh-oh. There's what a great run. What a great run.
And that's C.J. Kimball, the leading rusher for Charleston Blue Jays. Made a great run. That had him boxed up most of the night, but that was just an outstanding run by an athlete, absolutely incredible athlete for the Charleston Blue Jays.
Yeah, he went into the line, broke left, just snaked his way through the Malden defense. And he's a great athlete, a great running back, and he was able to good vision. Was able to just pick his way through the defense all the way for the 50-yard touchdown. Almost got it there. Another missed extra point, and it's Charleston 18, Malden nothing.
And, you know, other than that, that's been really the first big run that Malden's given up. They've done a good job of bottling up the running back with that excellent offensive line that Charleston has, and a very good quarterback. You know, that's just kind of one good block. It kind of springs C.J. Kimball, who's an outstanding running back. And, you know, with 8 minutes left in the third quarter, 18-0, Charleston over Malden. Again, you know, Malden needs to get the ball, move the ball down the field, get a score, and then we're right back in this game.
Yeah.
And, you know, Boot Hill Broadcasting is always excited to bring you Malden Greenway Sports. We're here at the Swamp, right next to the Mike Bullock press box. Again, we've indicated we've seen a lot of great Malden High School fans, a lot of great Malden High School alumni. If you're listening in, send us a text. Stop by and say hello. We'd love to say hello to you. Again, also be sure to thank our sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do it. You know, Terry and myself and Tommy, we do it because we like to do it. We enjoy it. We enjoy seeing the kids, and we enjoy seeing the people. So we're very excited to bring you next week's game when Malden will be playing Donovan at 7 o'clock here at the Swamp.
It's another attempted onside kick, but that time it went 10 yards, but Malden was there to cover it, and they will take it 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. See a couple players on crutches on the sideline from Malden.
Looks like the starting quarterback's on crutches over there. That's Marcellus Cantrell.
Yeah. Also, McKeelan Thornton, another freshman.
Again, as we indicated, Malden down to our understanding their third string quarterback. Is that correct, Terry?
Yes. Nice run.
Devin Lewis with the
Run up the middle.
Picks up about 6 yards.
Devin Lewis. Malden's got some guys who can run the ball.
They do. You know, again, that offensive line of Malden, I keep mentioning their names, Landon Depereaux, Michael Garrett, Alexander Burleson, Caden Casing, Leighton Tucker, all sophomore or freshmen. They do a good job of opening some holes for Devin Lewis and Ian Dobbins, the juniors. And I think, you know, again, 18-0 to Charleston, a very good football team. You know, Charleston comes in at 1-1, having defeated Kelly in the first game of the year and then taking a tough loss to Potosi in the second week. But Malden, you know, they're not the club that lost those first 2 games by that margin. I mean, they're a
No.
much better football team than that, and I think they're really showing it here tonight.
Well, again, something we alluded to at the first of the broadcast is that watch this team all year, and you're going to be able to see it grow, and the growth will be exponential.
And, you have to give a shout-out to Coach Pulley. I mean, when Coach Pulley come in, it was a difficult situation. I think the year before, they didn't even have enough kids to finish the year. So I think he's building the numbers. Again, he's really coming in with a positive attitude. His coaching staff has a positive attitude. And, the kids like to play for him. They appreciate his efforts, and they really appreciate what he does for them. I can't say it enough with the signing process he does, in which he brings the kids in, lays out their jersey, has their parents come in and say, hey, we're buying into a program for 4 years. We want you to be a part of this.
Timeout, Malden. And I think what we saw at halftime was a very positive move with the junior football. That's where you get started. That's where programs get started with in part of the grade school program.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to build from the ground up, and I think Coach Pulley has really done that, investing in the Little League program. I know that there's a lot of individuals in the area that have done a lot of work to try to get the Little League, the elementary program, the middle school program all going again, because you have to get kids excited and wanting to play football and be a part of it. You've got to get them in the weight room in the summer. You've got to get them in the off-season programs. And, of course, a lot of people say a lot about specialization, Terry, but I will tell you this. I'm by no means a great athlete, but I think that most people will agree if you have kids that play multiple sports, it helps them in whatever sport is their best sport.
Yes.
And to concentrate on one sport at a young age of like 6 or 7 or 8, I think that's too young. So I think, the more sports you can play, the better off you are. For instance, nothing better than an offensive defensive lineman who does wrestling.
Yeah.
A lot of skill players does track. Malden has an excellent track program. They have a lot of the things. They also are going to have a very good basketball team this year, I think, and baseball. So, again, it's going to be a situation in which if you'll hang in with the Malden Green Wave, they're going to be successful down the road.
Yeah. And when you talk about athletes playing multiple sports, I agree with you 100% that for a high school kid, you don't need to be specializing. And most college coaches will tell you that they like to have kids who play multiple sports and started multiple sports because of the diversity that you get.
And I think a lot has to be said with, if a kid's dominant in one sport, it doesn't help them understand that when you get to a certain level, you're going to have failure.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good not to be the best in any sport. Nice play there by Charleston.
Yeah, that's a very good play.
Lewis down by number 5, Caden
Branham on the tackle. But we're indicating, sometimes failure is the best thing that helps individuals realize, hey, I'm not just bigger and more athletic than everyone. I've really got to work and understand that's what you've got to do. And multiple sports helps you do that.
Yes. Well, you just got different skills that different sports develop. 4th and 4, and Malden is going for it. Hand off to Dobbins, up the middle. Good run, good hard run, right up the middle.
Fantastic run from Malden Greenway,
Again,
resulting in a first down.
I can't really say enough about the Malden Greenway front offensive line. They're opening some holes, and we're talking freshmen and sophomores. Again, playing against juniors and seniors, and those 4 grades, the physical difference of the players, like from between freshmen and seniors, is huge. And Malden's doing a very good job with their offensive line.
4:47 left in the third quarter. Charleston leading Malden 18-0. We're at the Swamp on Boot Hill Broadcasting. Sitting in the stands. Stop by, say hello. Feel free to give us a text. Would love to talk to you, say hello. We've seen a lot of great people come up and talk so far. And again, we're excited to be here at the Swamp, just down from the Mike Bullock press box. Terry McVeigh and Darren Todd on the call for Boot Hill Broadcasting. We've got a timeout with an injury on the field.
And we got another score. Is St. Genevieve is ahead of Kennett 14-0 in the third quarter.
And, you know, Terry, I know I mentioned this a lot, but again, without the gracious giving of our sponsors, we would not be able to bring this broadcast on Boot Hill Broadcasting. And one of those sponsors is Duncan County Transit. Duncan County Transit, our goal is to provide safe, reliable, accessible transportation options to meet the diverse needs of not only Duncan County, but our southeast Missouri community. We are committed to ensuring that all residents, regardless of their circumstances, age, or income, have access to essential services, healthcare facilities, employment opportunities, and recreational activities, and more. Through our transport services, we aim to enhance mobility, promote well-being, and foster community connectivity. We'd also like to thank FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, and Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping.
Injured player for Malden on the field. He's up to the applause, and that's Dobbins.
All right. Good to see Mr. Lewis back up on his feet.
Dobbins has had a very good game.
Is it plugged in?
Second and 5. 4:10 left in the third quarter. Good run up the middle. Just a little short.
Bedford with the run for the Green Wave.
You know, Terry, you can't say enough.
For the Blue Jays, bringing up third and about 2.
It's back up.
3rd and 2. Malden is in 4-down territory. As Benford with the last run. Again, Malden's had success up the middle.
And you can't say enough about this third-string quarterback coming in, Jemias Benford.
No.
Obviously, he was not starting. You know, it's my understanding Cantrell's went out with an ankle injury after the second quarter. So he's done a really good job of navigating a very tough Charleston defense.
Oh, good defense by Charleston. Good defense. Defensive end. Two defensive end or outside linebacker just read the play and saw what was happening and jumped right in the middle of it. It was about almost a 10-yard loss.
And again, we're here with 2:45 left in the third quarter. Charleston up 18-0 over the Malden Green Waves. We're at the Swamp. Malden's home opener. Malden 0-2 on the season after 2 tough losses against 2 quality opponents. Charleston is 1-1. These are both District 1, Class 1 football members. I never thought, again, I know I said this earlier, that I would ever think that Charleston and Malden would be Class 1 in anything.
No. Just going back my days when I was in high school, and that's a long time ago, when they had 3 classifications, In basketball, SM and L, and Charleston was Class L. Now they're Class 1 in football, and I guess Class 2 in basketball. But Charleston is one of the large teams.
Looks like we have a player down. It looks like Timothy Frazier may be having cramps. He's coming off the field. That's a good sign. Timothy Frazier has played a great game tonight. Excellent work as a DB for Charleston. But as another Malden Greenway first down, Terry. How about that? The Greenway's offense is really starting to click tonight. I mean, I know it's
they're mixing up.
They're doing a good
throwing
job.
it downfield some.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job. They got two good running backs. They have an outstanding offensive line. We get a little stability as far as injuries on with the quarterback situation. And again, they're very young, all underclassmen, so that's a great sign for the Malden Green Wave.
Yeah. The pitch out is going to be the flag. It's probably in the area of a hold. When the referee throwing the flag right behind the play. But no signal.
Looks like against Malden, they're asking, my understanding, the defensive coordinator is Luke Rayfield. I think he was at Portageville last year as the head coach, but now he's the defensive coordinator at Charleston. Asking him a little bit about what he wanted to do. When I was talking to the Charleston head coach, Coach Adams, I think he lets Coach Rayfield take an active interest and mostly run the defense. And Coach Adams is basically the offensive coordinator / CEO of the Charleston Blue Jay program.
It's a 5-yard penalty. Just when the flag was thrown, there is a motion penalty of where the flag was thrown and when it was thrown, it was thrown after the play was well underway. Just a little late.
It's on here. Now it's on again.
Second and 13.
And we got 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Charleston leading 18-0 here over the Malden Green Wave. Second down for the Malden Green Wave.
Dobbins comes on the field, stands in the backfield with the quarterback.
On here, on there. I just wonder if somebody kicked it.
Long throw. Touchdown.
How about
Any
that?
flag? No flag. No flag. And that's the first score of the year for the Malden Green Wave. Nice throw. Receiver had to come back for it. That's Tristan Moncrief.
Nice catch, nice throw. Well-designed play by the Malden Green Wave. Kind of rolled to his right and laid it out there. It was a great catch. Now it looks like Malden's going to go for two.
I was like, it just turned off. I didn't touch
Bring
nothing.
this to a 10-point game, depending on if the two-point conversion is successful. 18-6, Malden Green Wave on the board for the first time in 2025 campaign. Got to be excited for the Malden Green Wave. Again, as we indicated, Terry, Rome wasn't built in a day. Stick with these kids. They're going to be very, very good down the road. A very young football team, very exciting future. And I'm glad to see that all their hard work paid off with the
Tried
touchdown.
doing it for the Bloomfield Christmas tournament.
Two-point conversion was intercepted.
2-point conversion, no good.
And
So no good. It scores 18-6. But again, Malden got the ball and they drove it. They were methodical. I think it's a good sign. It wasn't a lucky play. Wasn't any trick plays. It was just football.
And again, you've got to be excited for those linemen. Landon Depro, the sophomore, Michael Garrett, a sophomore, Alexander Burleson, a freshman, Caden Casing, a sophomore, and Leighton Tucker, a freshman. Very, very, very hard-working, good group of kids that have really played a solid football game tonight. Again, you got to admire Devin Lewis and Ian Dobbins doing a great job on the ground, and you have to be excited about Jemias Benford, the third-string quarterback who came in from Acrylis Cantrell after he hurt his ankle. Jemias is a senior, but other than that, these are all underclassmen. Continue to work hard. Bring us to 18-6. 33 seconds left in the third quarter. We have a whole quarter left. Malden is right in this ball game.
Yeah. And again, it wasn't a fluke play or a pick six or anything like that. It was just a good drive, good runs, good protection.
The penalty from the last touchdown will be assessed against Charleston during this kickoff.
Looks like there's a penalty against Charleston. It's going to be assessed on the kickoff. I'm not quite sure what the penalty was, but we'll take it.
I didn't see the flag, and I didn't see any signal.
You know, I think that's one thing is with the communication these officials have, being able to talk among themselves. Why do they not have the ability to get microphones so we can figure out they can, you know, just talk and put it over the loudspeaker? I'm sure that's possible because they all have communications among themselves nowadays.
Yeah.
Pass picked up by Darius Williams.
Darius Williams picks up the squib kick, gets it back out to the 40-yard line. Charleston's going to take over. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. And Charleston's ahead 18-6.
And again, we're here on Boot Hill Broadcasting. Myself and Terry McVeigh. We're very excited to be in the swamp to begin our 2025 Malden Greenway football season. We'll be here next Friday when Malden takes on the Donovan Dons if they come back and complete this victory against the Charleston Blue Jays. We'll be in the press box next week. We wanted to start our opening salvo by being with the fans here in the stands, and we've been overwhelmed by their support. I can't count the number of people who've come by and talked to us and wished us well. Thank us for being here. Thank us for bringing the Malden football to the area by way of the internet. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all of our sponsors one more time: Dunklin County Transit, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, Brothers Lawn Service, owned by Ernest Fobbs, 573-344-7202 or 573-281-9985. First State Community Bank and Sandra Salisbury. Servants Contracting, 573-281-6311. And Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, 573-217-5743.
And that's how the third quarter ends. Scoring Charleston 18, Malden 6.
Terry, you know, if you've got to be Coach Pulley and his staff, you've got to be very pleased. Malden's won the second half, 6-0. Oh, excuse me, 6-6. I'm sorry, 6-6. It's been an even second half. Lost the first half 12-0. Made some excellent adjustments. Came out with their third-string quarterback. The offensive line, controlling the offensive line. They're doing a very good job of that.
I'm very impressed with the offensive line.
Absolutely. And then they continue to do a great job blocking up front. The running backs are running hard. You know, again, down to the third-string quarterback. That's not a situation in which anyone you'd want to wish on anybody, but they've done a good job of adjusting. The Malden Green Wave have had a tough stretch, but they are really starting to gel. And if you haven't come and seen them play, you need to come out next Friday when they take on the Donovan Dons. They're a really improving team, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about how much they proved through the year.
I think so too. I was very impressed with the with the youth of their line, because they're going up against guys 2 years older, and in those ages, 15 to 18. The difference between 15 and 18 is huge physically.
Absolutely.
And we got 50, and Malden has 15-year-olds going up against 18-year-olds. And they're hanging in.
It'll be interesting to see, this fourth quarter of Charleston with the football, what they'll try to do. Are they going to try to run out the clock, control the line of scrimmage? C.J. Kimball is an absolute beast back there. Their quarterbacks did an excellent job as well.
Yes.
But, I mean, you've got to think that you're wanting to just control the line of scrimmage, give the ball to C.J. Kimball, let him continue to march the ball down the field, and make Malden physically stop you. That's the thing that you think Charleston has got to do here in the last 12 minutes of this fourth quarter. Again, Terry, while we're, I believe, taking a water timeout, you have to be very impressed with the Malden Green Wave cheerleaders. Have done an excellent job tonight. It's a very good crowd here at the Swamp, and so we're very, very excited to have a big crowd here tonight. And again, come out and see us next Friday. And again, Boot Hill Broadcasting, if you can't be here, we'll be happy to bring you all the action.
And we'll be here next week and the next week, and
we're off the week after that, but then we're going to be
Okay.
here for that. Then we're going to get real. We're going to travel. So,
but just want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing Malden football, and we'll continue to do Malden football, and we're glad to do it for this season.
looks like the athletic director, Tim Harmon, is out there talking to the referee about something going on. And again, if they had a microphone, they could explain to us what they're doing.
Harmon is one of the outstanding basketball officials from this area.
And it looks like whatever the issue was, it has been solved with a talking to the administration. And now we are beginning the fourth quarter. Charleston leading 18-6. Malden's home opener here in the Swamp. Boot Hill Broadcasting, Darren Todd and Terry McVeigh, excited to bring you all the action. And as I feared, there's that man.
Yep.
I think along, I don't even know who it was, you know, when they took the spoon and just said, feed me, feed me, feed me.
Yeah.
I think that's what Charleston's going to do to C.J. Kimball.
Yeah.
And see if Malden can stop them on the run on the ground.
And there's Kimball again. And going to be a personal foul. Looks like a little extracurricular activity between the Charleston player and the Malden player. And I think they're going to call the Charleston for the personal foul.
That's exactly what we're talking about. That's Mortonion Hall, a senior for Charleston, going up against Leighton Tucker, the extremely talented freshman for the Malden Green Wave, which I think it'll be a personal foul, which should push Charleston back.
Personal foul, Charleston.
Looks like a personal foul against the Blue Jays. We're going to have 3rd and 9.
And that's one thing about this officiating crew, Terry. I mean, there was one call maybe earlier in the game with the pass interference on
Yeah.
Malden, but other than that, I think it's been a very well officiated game. There has been some breaks, obviously, but I think that's just for interpretation of rules and things of that nature. I think they've done a good job. Obviously,
Haven't really noticed them.
no, I haven't. And of course, now they're coming over to the sideline to ask him.
Okay, they've got a 15-yard penalty. And it's first down.
So the first down.
So the only thing I figure is that the penalty occurred after the run.
That's correct. It looks like he got the first down on the run and then a dead ball, personal foul penalty after the
Yeah.
play was over. And you do 15 yards, so now
There's a touchdown.
there's that man again.
Yep.
Mr. Riggins.
I think that's the second big catch of the day, Jalen Rigney.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's basically the same play that he scored on earlier. It was just he just ran past the defender.
And that was a good play call.
Oh, yeah.
Charleston been backed up. They were behind the sticks. They're going to be 15 yards back. Malden was a little pumped up, and that was a good time for a little, play fake and then go for the big home run hit, and that's what they got. And it's 24-6 here with 11:16 left in the fourth quarter. But again, Malden's played a very good football game. A couple of long passes. It's 12-6.
Yeah.
So I mean, the first quarter, if Malden was able to punch that one through, it's 24-12, but it would be 12-12. So again,
Kirby keeps it.
He scores.
that was a
2
nice
points.
hard run.
Kirby's a good quarterback.
He is. He's a very good quarterback. He's only a junior. Very good quarterback. Took some big hits there, but kept on going. So 26-6 in the fourth quarter, 11:16 left in the fourth. Malden Green Wave. Home opener. Malden's played hard. Malden is played hard. They're continuing to play hard. Charleston's a very good football team. Charleston is going to be a force of that district. They'll have to get by Crothersville, but they're a very good football team. They have one loss, but of course it was to a 3A team, Potosi, and they're 1A. So I mean, it's a situation in which you have to be pleased with Malden's efforts, 26-6. But again, they're going to get better. They're going to be where they need to be. So we're very excited about bringing all Malden football to you. We don't come for just 1 or 2 games. We come for the entire duration.
We're here for the season.
That's right.
Even when they play in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Absolutely.
Malden later this season will be traveling. I can't remember the name of the school they're going to be playing. It's a small school in O'Fallon, Missouri, which is of course in the St. Louis area. And Saturday afternoon game, and we will be there to bring it to you. Charleston recovers.
Let's see who comes up with it.
Malden dropped the ball. Malden dropped the.
Looks like Charleston recovered.
Yeah, Malden returner dropped the ball, and Charleston fell on it first.
And just so the people viewing know, the schedule for the Boot Hill broadcasting for the Malden Green Wave. Malden versus Donovan is next week. Then there'll be an open week. And then it's Malden versus Portersville at Malden at 7 o'clock. And then it's Malden versus New Madrid County at Malden at 7 o'clock. And then it's Malden versus Veritas Christian Academy at O'Fallon at 1 o'clock. And then in Malden versus Hayti at Hayti at 7 o'clock pending. We're hopefully be able to give you that game as well. We're waiting on permission from Hayti to ask that we can come over. So we're going to have a lot of exciting Malden Greenway football. So continue to join us on Boot Hill Broadcasting for all the Malden Greenway football this season.
Now, one thing Malden, and I think is very important to Malden right now, is, okay, you give up a long touchdown pass. Give up the 2-point conversion. Charleston recovers the squib kick.
Now,
And Malden can't collapse.
Well, I'm confused here, Terry. It looks like we're going to go and try to do the kick again, but again without the referee having I don't know what his call was. He indicated something with his foot. I'm going to have to check out that movement, and he hit his foot, so it must have been some kind of illegal formation procedure on Charleston, which requires them to kick the football again.
But again, no explanation. Didn't see a flag. Little pooch. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. And that's exactly what Malden can't let happen. They can't let this game just get completely out of hand.
And, you know, that's one of those situations where if it was a punt, you don't have to catch it. On a kickoff, the ball is live until you catch it and down it.
Yeah.
Or it's down by the official going through the end zone or going out of bounds. Again, special teams is something that you try to catch up on. You know, you're trying to work on your offenses, your defense, a little bit of that. And you don't have a lot of time to work on special teams. But again, you know, Malden has been impressing me as far as their offensive line, their running backs. They're working with their third-string quarterback. Their defense has been very good. They've had a couple of tough passing plays, but they've been very good stopping the run. I mean, C.J. Kimball's made a few runs, but they've done a good job all in all corralling him. Yeah. So we just continue to focus. You lose focus for a couple seconds, and then Jalen Riggins gets two big pass plays. C.J. Kimball rips off a big run. And that's 21 points right there, 18 points, excuse me.
Yeah, that's and again, another stoppage play.
So we're a timeout by Malden. I think they're a little bit discombobulated, trying to figure out what's going on the.
Probably a good timeout because they are in danger of just having it collapse. And for 3/4 of this game, it's been positive. Even though they're losing, it's been positive for 3/4 of this game. They can't let the fourth quarter ruin the game.
And again, you know, we're Boot Hill Broadcasting. We're bringing you the game here from the Swamp in Malden. We're in the bleachers, the stands, just south of the Mike Bullock press box. We're very excited to be here. Darren Todd, Terry McVeigh. And the broadcast would not be possible without our sponsors, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, and Dunklin County Transit. You know, as quickly as the first half kind of moved here, it seems like we've had a few more stops and stalls here in the second half. It hasn't been as crisp. A lot of that could be, you know, these kids are playing a lot of both ways, so I'm sure they're very tired. But it's almost a little bit, you know, fatigue will bring out some mental and physical mistakes. So,
Kimball on the carry for the Blue Jays.
And again, I think Charleston has decided, you know, C.J. Kimball on the ground is the way to go. Let's control this thing. Let's run out the last 11 minutes of the fourth quarter, up 26-6 over your Malden Greenway, and move to 2-1 on the season.
Yeah. Kimball again going left, cutting back down to the 10-yard line.
Kimball on the carry for the Blue Jays, picking up
the first down. And another Malden player down.
Looks like we might have a cramp out there, you know, Terry. It's been hot and humid. The weather's kind of southeast Missouri-esque, as all I could say about it was 56 one morning, and then this morning it felt like it was 110. So with humidity, it looks like he's got a cramp. I hope that's all it is.
The way they were working on him gave every indication of being a cramp.
Leighton Tucker, the fine offensive lineman, also playing defensive line, the freshman. So he's been working hard out there.
And he's walking off. It does look like a cramp. Charleston comes out, first and 10 from 12.
(26-6), Charleston leading the Malden Greenways with 10:33 left in the fourth quarter. Terry, and you know, really, it doesn't feel like a 26-6 game.
No, well, it hasn't been. Long pass into the end zone intended for Frazier, Timothy Frazier II.
That was good pass coverage over there by number 20, Devin Lewis, number 5, Jemias Benford. A lot of these kids playing both ways. You know they've got to be tired out there. That's as we can tell from a lot of the cramping that's been going on. And again, you know, Charleston was moving the ball on the ground, but then they go back to the pass, and then here comes C.J. Kimball.
Kimball on the carry for the Blue Jays. Touchdown.
Malden's or Charleston is running downhill.
And again, you know, we talked at the beginning of the game that Coach Adams indicated he's very impressed with his offensive line. You know, we mentioned those guys from Charleston, Jalen Fennell, Jackson Hightower, Martonion Hall, Braylon Stovall, and Treshawn Johnson. He's also got C.J. Kimball in the backfield as a very good runner. And he has an excellent quarterback. You know, that quarterback, Chasen Kirby, is a very good thrower, very good runner. Charleston has a lot to work with. They're a very good football team.
There's a two-point conversion.
Two-point conversion is good for the Blue Jays. Charleston 34, Greenway 6.
Looks like we got a flag. I think it's going to be a personal foul on
It's
Charleston.
going to be a celebration.
It looked like he was a little over exuberant in his blocking of number 20 for the green wave in the end zone. So we'll see how that goes. It's Tim Frazier the second. A personal foul against Charleston. It's going to be enforced on the kickoff. I figured out what that leg movement means. It's enforced on the kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
But why? Again, personal foul is all I can say.
Yeah. I think this might have been a little excessive celebration. Or.
A little over exuberant in your blocking.
Yeah.
And again, it's 34-6. We're here in the fourth quarter. Malden versus Charleston. Charleston's leading your Malden Greenway. 10:22 left in the fourth. Boot Hill Broadcasting excited to bring you the entire season of Malden High School football. We'll be here next Friday night when Malden hosts the Donovan Dons, and the next week they'll be off. There's nobody scheduled for that week. And again, you know, Terry, we're talking 34-6. This game has been much closer than that. You know, Malden's offensive line has done an excellent job blocking. They had two good running backs, done very good work. The issue, obviously, is nothing but injuries. You know, they're down to the third-string quarterback, which kind of changes a lot of stuff you have available to you. And Charleston has an outstanding football team. They're a very good line. They also have an outstanding quarterback in Chasen Kirby. And they also have an outstanding running back in Mr. Kimball. So I think it's going to be a situation in which they're now moving the ball back some more.
Looks like too many players on the field for
He may be kicking from the Walmart parking lot.
I just heard him announce too many players on the field for Charleston.
He might be kicking
Another 5
from
yards.
Bernie here in a moment if he
Yeah.
keep this up.
Tristan Moncrief with the return.
Nice return.
Very
Took the
good
ball on the
return.
run, and of course, if I was officiating, I might have called that horse collar. But again, 34-6, Charleston leading Malden, and I don't have a black and white uniform. I did
Yep.
work at Foot Locker at one time.
Oh, did you?
I did in college. I worked at Foot Locker. They let me wear the stripes. And of course, I like to also officiate in my spare time, but not actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. But don't we all? (34-6), 10-14 left in the fourth quarter. Charleston leaving Malden. We're at the Swamp. Boot Hill Broadcasting, excited to bring you Malden High School football. Darren Todd and Terry McVeigh.
One thing, for the next 10 minutes of this game is you don't want it to get real sloppy. You want Malden to keep playing their game.
And
build on that and build on what they've done this game and build on that what they've done for the first 3 quarters.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that will benefit Malden is getting reps.
Yes.
Getting reps out there against someone other than your second team. Getting quality reps. It's 9:43 left in the fourth. We're down. Continue to run our offense. Continue to get better. Continue to execute. Figure out what we need to work on, where we're at, because this is all game film. They're going to be able to watch it on Sunday with the coaches. The coaches will evaluate them, tell them this is where we need to improve and where we're at. Again, 2 or 3 plays, one way or the other, and Malden is in this game 12-6, 18-6, something of that nature. So, again, Malden fans, take heart. We watched the Little Leaguers playing at halftime. They did an excellent job.
Great interception.
Absolutely athletic, unbelievably athletic play by Sean Shandon.
Yeah.
Great play.
One-handed interception. He's playing safety. He drifted over where the ball was going to be going, and he read the play well and had it covered.
And 9:11 left in the fourth quarter. It's Charleston 34, Malden 6. We're at Boot Hill Broadcasting. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for making this possible. Terry, Tommy, and I, we'd all like to thank Duncan County Transit. Our goal is to provide safe, reliable, and accessible transportation options to meet the diverse needs of not only Duncan County but our southeast Missouri community. We're committed to ensuring that all residents, regardless of their circumstances, age, or income, have access to essential services, healthcare facilities, employment opportunities, and recreational activities, and more. Through our transport services, we aim to enhance mobility, promote well-being, and foster community connectivity.
About an 80-yard run.
Brought down by number 10, Kean Burke. It will be 1st and 10 for the Charleston Blue Jays from the Green Wave 4.
And again, Terry, I think it's just a little bit of Malden wearing down those big offensive linemen, wearing on them. Of course, the defensive line of Malden have to play both ways. And again, you keep getting hit with a bowling ball, eventually just wears you down. Again, Malden has nothing to be ashamed of. Played an outstanding football game. Again, the first half was 12-0 Charleston, but it was an outstanding first half. So Malden has a lot to build on. They just have to keep churning and digging forward for the remainder of the season.
Green Wave stops the run at the 1 yard line.
Brandon gets the ball down the 1 yard line. I'm going to let him finish what he started.
And again, talking about our sponsors, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, and Herschel and Amy Hill. Thank you for sponsoring Boot Hill Broadcasting and Malden Greenway football.
And a touchdown for,
Charleston with 6 more on the board.
see if they gave that one to Branham.
And with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it's 40-6. Charleston over your Malden Greenway. Charleston getting ready to go for 2. Again, we'll be back on next week. Approximately 6:30, we'll be bringing the Malden Greenway versus the Donovan Dons here at the Swamp. Join in and tune in. And much as a theme for the second half, we have a flag, delay of game.
Yeah.
I do know that play.
Yeah.
I have seen that. That was scooped back Charleston, and they'll continue their 2-point try.
I believe that was a delay of game call against the Blue Jays.
Again, you hate to see the game start just getting away from Malden as well as they played the first 3 quarters.
Absolutely, it's a first 3 quarters they were tremendously good. And again, numbers-wise, they're still building the numbers back up. They're doing a good job with underclassmen, and they're continuing to work hard. And I'm very impressed that, the Coach Pulley has them heading in the right direction. They're working hard. They're going to get better. It's a process, brick by brick. I know that's an old saying, but Malden's going to get there. Malden has some talent. They have some tools to work with, and they're going to get there. I'm excited about the coaching staff. I think they do a good job. I mean, I can't say enough about Coach Treston Pulley, Brian Vent, Mike Perry, and Nick Neely. They're working hard. The kids are working hard, and again, it's a work in progress. And I'm excited about Malden football the rest of this year and into the future.
Yeah, they're going to benefit from this game. You don't want to see the fourth quarter just completely fall apart.
And again, you kind of build. You're like, we did really well in the first 3 quarters, and now.
Yeah. First 3 quarters gives them an idea that they can play, and they can play against a good team.
Williams kicking off to the Blue Jays.
And with 6:51 left in the fourth quarter, it's Charleston 42, Malden 6. We're at Boot Hill Broadcasting here at the Swamp. In the bleachers, Terry McVeigh and Darren Todd with Tommy Jacobs. We've been very excited about the numerous people who come by, text, talk to us, said we're happy and glad that you're doing Malden football, and we're excited to be doing it for this 2025 season. And again, can't say it enough without all of our sponsors. We talked about it all night: Duncan County Transit, Brothers Lawn Service, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, Herschel and Amy Hill, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, and Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping. So again, and I'll shout out one last time for plug for myself. Darren Todd, welcome to the booth. KDX AM 1590, weekdays 1 to 9 on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. Interesting guests from all over the region. If you have an idea, shout it out to me. I'd love to talk to anybody about people in southeast Missouri, and I'm very excited about the process. Terry, we got 5:48 left in the fourth quarter, 42-6, Charleston over Malden. Are you excited about the game next week against Donovan?
I think it's going to be interesting. I think I don't know what Donovan did last week. I know the first week of the season they got beat by Saxon and Lutheran, which was Saxon and Lutheran's first varsity victory ever. Donovan has had football for a few years, but I think they're just getting back to playing varsity. It's a game Malden can win. know how to win.
It looks like Donovan is 1-1 on the season. They beat Pickett, Arkansas 46-36 in the first week, and then they lost to Saxony Lutheran 35-7. And they're playing Kelly tonight. Of course, Kelly was a team that Charleston beat. Charleston beat Kelly 22-14 the first game of the season. So it'll be interesting to see, common opponents and things of that nature.
Yeah, we're getting to the point we've got enough games in the season to start looking at common opponents.
Devin Lewis on the run.
And the last 5 minutes here, if you're Malden, you're continuing to try to run your offense. Obviously, we've had a few injuries. We want to get those guys healthy. We want to get the remainder of our players out without having any more injuries and get to where we need to be against Donovan next week. Be on the air about 6:30. Be at the Swamp. Come out and see us. Great home opener for the Malden Green Wave as far as attendance and
There's
things
Dobbin.
like that. And there's a great run. And that's what you like to see. There's no
Now Dobbins grabs his lower leg, probably cramp.
and there's no quit right there in Malden.
No.
They've been battling hard the whole time. Tough tackle there on Dobbins as he goes down, but hopefully he's up.
A 30-yard gain. Dobbins had a very good game.
Absolutely. He's played, again, those starting linemen, sophomores and freshmen, can't say enough about those guys.
Greenway.
And of course, those two junior running backs, they're outstanding, so you've
Yeah.
got to be very excited about that.
And Dobbins come up with some pretty good defensive plays.
It'll be nice if Malden could push one through for a second score of the year here.
Benford's still in the game. He takes the ball, gets outside, gets around the corner, and nice little pickup down to the 28, 29-yard line.
And the clock continues to run based upon the score, however. But 3 minutes here left in the fourth quarter. Charleston leading 42-6 against Malden. Looks like we got another player coming off, maybe a little ankle or cramp, number 64 there. Alexander Burleson, one of those outstanding offensive linemen. Looks like he lost a shoe. Freshman done a great job all night playing on the O-line for the Malden Green Wave.
2:45 left in the game, clock running. Be nice for Malden to push another score across. There's Dobbins again, up the middle, cuts back. He's going to go all the way.
Outstanding. Congratulations. See, that's exactly why you need to stick with these Malden Green Wave kids. They have no quit in them. Down 42-6 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they score a touchdown, bringing the score 42-12. Second touchdown of the season. You've got to like that. That is just want to right there, Terry.
Yeah, that was a nice run, but Dobbins has had a good game. He's shown his versatility. And Malden will go for two.
I think we should line up in a swinging gate, Terry.
Didn't work for Oklahoma State against Mizzou 15 years ago.
Well, nothing should work against Oklahoma State. Oh, nice 2-point conversion. Goes up and takes it out away from two defenders. You got to like that. Great job. 14 for Malden. 42-14 here in the fourth quarter. But you got to like that. Now, we're very excited that there's no quitting these Green Wave. I mean, they've really done a
I
great
think-
job.
I really like that they were able to get another score. It's just it gives them something positive, something else positive out of this game.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They had positive, they had a positive first 3 quarters, even though they were behind. They had a positive first 3 quarters. Then the fourth quarter kind of unraveled and fell apart, and they were able to put it back together and get another score and go off the end of the game with good feelings, with something positive.
And when you're looking at that tape on Sunday with your teammates, it's always better to have 2 scores plus a successful 2-point conversion to talk about on your offense, in addition to some great runs, some great blocking by the offensive line, and pretty good quarterback play. For a third-string quarterback, I think he's come in and done an excellent job. The starting quarterback went out with an ankle injury in the first half, and he's come in and he's done a nice job. I mean, 42-14. Again, and I know I've said this over and over, 3 or 4 plays, one or the other, big plays, and this game is 2014, 26, right in that area. So I mean, Malden is not that far away from being a very good football team. Again, I know I've said this over and over again, but you've got to be excited about the coaching staff. Treston Pulley, Brian Vent, Mike Perry, and Nick Neely, they've done a great job. And again, we'll see what happens next week against Donovan. I think it'll be an outstanding football game. We'll see how Donovan does against Kelly this week, where they're at, and go from there. So,
but again, ending on a positive.
Absolutely. And as we're ending on a positive, with 126 out for the last time, I'd again like to thank all of our sponsors. Duncan County Transit, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, FM Bank, Rick's Hair World, and Herschel and Amy Hill. Without their generous sponsorships, we would not be able to broadcast the Malden Green Wave football this season. So please, when you have any opportunity, please patronize these sponsors, and they would greatly appreciate it. And again, next week, come out, watch the Malden Green Wave. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Swamp's a great place to watch a game. We're going to be in the Mike Bullock press box next week. So hopefully we'll have some ribs delivered or maybe some something. We'll have to see what we do about getting that catered. So I'm very excited to be back next week on Boot Hill Broadcasting, Darren Todd and Terry McVeigh. And then we'll just see where we're at. It's a long season. We're going to do what we need to do to get the Malden Green Wave across the finish line. And they're building for the future. I mean, again, these kids are playing now. Hopefully 2 years, they're playing for a district title, and that's what we're working for.
Well, the season's a story in and of itself, and just how it develops. You keep hoping that it keep developing with positive notes.
And again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We've all been taught that. So, with 1:17 left in the fourth quarter, 42-14, Charleston leading over your Malden Green Wave on Boot Hill Broadcasting. Darren Todd and Terry McVeigh, excited to bring you all the action for the 2025 season, along with Tommy Jacobs. So we're excited, looking forward to next week's game, and obviously the positive note that we've ended on here tonight is very exciting for Malden Green Wave football.
And that's not what you want.
John Wells with a touchdown run of about 40 yards for the Charleston Blue Jays.
And Terry, that's just a classic example. We've got some tired legs, some tired guys out there, been going both ways, a little bit mentally fatigued. So there could be some philosophical coaching situation as well. Perhaps do you take the knee there? Do you run the game? I mean, they're trying to run the football. I think they're trying to run the clock out, and he just made a great run.
Yeah. They didn't have all their starters in. Had going to try the kick for the extra point. Came close again.
Extra point.
And one thing at least Charleston can work on this week is they can work on their special
They
teams.
work on the special teams.
We'll have to talk about special teams or develop some two-point plays.
Yeah.
Obviously, Charleston, the hotbed of soccer in southeast Missouri, you would think they could recruit a soccer player to come and maybe kick.
Yeah.
But, again, 48-14, Charleston leaving in Malden here with 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Thank you for joining us on the Boot Hill Broadcasting. Very excited to be able to bring you Malden High School football for the 2025 season. Next weekend, the Donovan Dons. One of my favorite nicknames of all time. I always thought they would be more like the Donovan Floaters or the Donovan Canoers maybe, but I guess the Dons has something to do with the killing of deer, correct?
I never heard that.
What would the Dons be? It rhymes with Donovan?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
That's how Donovan starts.
Well,
The Dons.
And then they really got creative and they went with the Donettes.
Yep.
Terry, also while we're here, two big events coming up in the area. The Stoddard County Fair starts next Tuesday with the parade, and then they'll have a fair all week at the East Park, I believe, in Dexter. And then something that you're very familiar with will happen the next week, which believe is September 23rd. Is that correct?
First day of it.
That's the
first day at the Delta Fair.
If the Delta Fair parade, if you've not seen both of those parades, you need to go because it is quite a spectacle. You also need to go to both the Stoddard County Fair, which is my understanding is the 98th Stoddard County Fair, and it's also the Dunklin County Fair. We're not sure about the number, but it's pretty close to 98.
We think it's more than that, but we're not sure.
This sounds like a Kansas-Mizzou rivalry. We can't even agree on the number of wins and losses, can we, Terry?
No.
So again,
But Dunklin County Fair, it will once again. Nice throw.
that's a beautiful throw out there.
Pass intended for number 2, Tristan Humphrey.
And again, Malden's continuing to run a lot of good plays. You're getting a lot of good reps with your third-string quarterback, who's done a fine job really running the offense. Continue to do what they need to do. So
That's a good arm. I mean, that was a good throw. But we're excited to bring the Delta Fair Parade. It'll be on Boot Hill Broadcasting.
And I can't remember who said it, but I love a parade. Unless I'm walking in it, then it's way too long. It's a nice run.
Checks the middle for the Greenway.
Yeah.
First down.
They're still battling. I don't think they're going to get the battle for one more play. I think that's it. That's going to be it, with the final score being the Charleston Blue Jays 48, Malden Greenway 14.
To our final score of Charleston 48, Greenway 14.
And again, and we're here with Terry McVeigh, Darren Todd, and Tommy Jacobson, the crew. Very excited to bring you Malden Greenway football all season. From the swamp. Be here next week against the Donovan Dons. I'll ask someone what the Dons mascot means. I have no clue.
Just the Dons.
And we'll be in the Mike Bullock press box. A very exciting time. So, Terry, I'm going to leave this for you to wrap up.
All right, and I can wrap it up pretty quickly. There's not a whole lot of highlights. Charleston was just a better team tonight, but Malden gives you something to look forward to. I was very impressed with the way Malden, with their extremely young team, hung in there and played Charleston pretty much straight up for the first 3 quarters, and that's there's a lot to look forward to in Malden, and we're excited that we're going to bring it to you. You're going to see a very good season. You're going to see a team that just gets better and better, and I think that I'm looking forward to bringing it to you.
And on behalf of our sponsors, Dunklin County Transit, Brothers Lawn Service, First State Community Bank, Servants Contracting, Beckett's Tree Service and Landscaping, FM Bank, Riggs Hair World, and Herschel and Amy Hill, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on Boot Hill Broadcasting. And the final score is Charleston 48, Malden 14. We'll see you next Friday night, starting about 6:30. Come out to the Swamp when your Malden Green Wave takes on the Donovan Dons.
Good night.